to me at least, last night, it was all about the returns, and we had a bunch. It had been 276 days since we'd seen Damian Lillard, but it is Dame time once again. Kawhi Leonard, he took the floor after tearing his ACL 476 days ago, and then in Denver, Jamal Murray and his bow and arrow, I can't do that very well, he was back after 539 days, but I don't know about you guys. I have my laptop fired up over there. I was on my phone over here. I have my TV tuned in to our friends Sarah Kustok, Ryan Rucco, and Megan Triplett, who had the call in Brooklyn because after 470 days, Ben Simmons is back. And we got a glimpse into how he's going to fit alongside both Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And after months of discussions, how is the big three going to look in Brooklyn? How are they possibly going to play together? We finally have our answer, or at least we're beginning to. And we have our big three joining us today. Jalen Rose, Richard Jefferson, Zach Lowe's going to be by in just a minute. But what about this, guys? What if we start by going to Barclays Center and checking out what happened in Brooklyn last night? Because they were facing the 76ers. The Nets were hosting. You can see Joel Embiid, James Harden, they were sitting for Philly. But the Nets' big three, they were all in action. So let's start in the first quarter here, Richard. This is what fans wanted. The feed from Kyrie Irving for the dunk from Ben Simmons.
Yeah, as much as Ben Simmons in transition as a finisher, but he's also a guy that can create things in transition. But look, Kyrie Irving, how good was it to get him back on the floor? Look at it. Ooh. Oh, against Tobias? Ooh, the little lefty. It's going to be a problem for the Nets if they can keep it all together emotionally and mentally.
Well, and particularly defensively. That's something that I know all of us have been curious to see. But when you can get it in transition and have Nick Claxton finish it like that, it looks pretty good.
Oh, again, we talk so much about what he can't do, and we forget what he is great at, and that is creating opportunities in transition. Right there on defense. And look, these are buckets that the Nets weren't able to get. Easy. That is the easiest bucket that Kevin Durant would have had in the postseason last year, and that was based and created off of him.
Well, you can see it's all smiles for the Nets, but Tyrese Maxey was having himself a night, Jalen Rose. It felt like his first couple of shots, he just could not miss. His confidence, it was off the charts.
His confidence got so high last season, we were questioning whether he was their second best player versus James Harden. And the great thing about his game, Malik, he plays on the ball, plays off the ball, can shoot the three, and you see he got his float game as well.
It was impressive, Rich.
Yeah, we were talking last night, and it's just like, look, this kid is a coach's dream. He plays with a smile on his face. He gets better year in and year out. These are the type of young players that coaches, they don't want to give up on. They don't want to give other opportunities. They don't want to trade because you're like, these guys don't come along very, very often. Special young players that just want to play the game the right way and get better in every aspect.
It seems like he's the perfect young star in this league. The 76ers, they win at 127-108. Let's focus in on the Nets because Doc Rivers is actually going to be joining this show in just a little bit, and we can zero in on the 76ers. What impressed you the most, Rich?
About the 76ers or Brooklyn?
Brooklyn.
Oh, geez.
Brooklyn.
I don't really get too much into the preseason, the past that he had. These are just the things that people have forgotten about Ben Simmons. Yes, we have focused on he doesn't shoot free throws well. We have focused on that he didn't shoot the ball late in fourth quarters in a playoff series 2 seasons ago. But we haven't talked about that he was up for Defensive Player of the Year. We haven't talked about all of the transition opportunities, which is what the Nets were lacking. And if you look at their shooting, they got Joe Harris back. You got so much talent around him that he won't even need to shoot on this team, which is very different than what his role would have been in Philly.
Oh, we got to hit the brakes there. Let me get back to won't need to shoot stuff.
That's a J&J
Everybody playing basketball on the perimeter is going to need to make shots late in games, or the ball is going to get funneled to them. You know that, and you know that. The thing that stood out to me is that he's healthy and that I saw a smile on his face. Yeah. For the last almost 2 years, in theory, he's been away from the game that he loves. His name has been assassinated. And the last memory we really saw him playing was against the Hawks, where he struggled mightily, in particular in the fourth quarter. But then the other thing that stands out to me is on this team, he isn't required to do 2 things. One, be the second best player. Now he's the third best player, and I think he fits that role great. And the other thing, he doesn't have to be the quote-unquote point guard. That's the key. So now he's not at the top of the floor. He's going to be on the wing in the half court. He's going to be on the baseline. He's going to be a screener, and now he's going to be more of a finisher.
Right, and just listening to him talk after the game, you could tell how much joy he had just to be back on the floor.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.